Salutations and good morrow everyone, and welcome back to another grounded video where today we're going to be going through and talking a controversial topic that's buzzing around grounded right now, and that is all of the nerfs that have happened. And more importantly, Sir Sim, are your builds still worth going out and trying out that you have made before the recent nerfs to the Black Widow Fang Dagger, to the Tick Bat, to the Pinch Whacker, to the Scythes, to the Mosquito Rapier? All of these different things that have gotten a nerf, including the big nerf to poison, all of that. Is it still worth your time to go through and make those builds? So first of all, let's start out with poison. So poison got nerfed by about 10%, right? So poison itself was nerfed about 10%. That sucks, right? It reduces the amount of damage that's being done, especially seeing how you can go through and you can do so much poison damage to, say, like a ladybug. If I was to go through and just start doing poison damage to this thing, you can see the amount of damage it starts to take once it's poisoned. That's why its health is going down so much. Even though it's healing itself, you can watch the poison rip the poor ladybug apart. Now, was it more powerful before? Absolutely. It was definitely more powerful before, but it's still a super viable thing to have. And they've made it so spiders, now obviously as the spiders get higher in tier, they become more resistant, but spiders are now once again not 100% immune to poison, except for the Black Widow, which is done for a reason, and we'll get into that in just a moment. But the Black Widow is the only spider that's 100% resistant to poison now. So that makes it so even though we've gotten a nerf on our poison builds, we can still go through and use them in order to fight everything in the yard. Yes, did the Black Widow Dagger receive a 10% debuff? Yes, it did. Do I like that? No, I do not. Was it necessary? You can have god level weapons in RPGs, that's okay, but I understand why they did it, right? It was making it so you would never use any other weapon besides this one to go through and rip everything apart. There's a reason why I loved it so much, right? It was really, really good, but it's not needed to have it like that in the game. Now, let's talk the Tick Bat, right? Because the Tick Bat was also nerfed, right? It got a 15% damage reduction. Same thing with the Tiger Mosquito Rapier, also got a debuff as well, but they didn't put it into their notes. But yes, it did receive a damage reduction. All in all, though, it's still a viable weapon. If I wanted to go, say, fight these ants over here, a level 5 Tick Bat that I'm currently using right here, level 5 tough, I could go through and I could put this out as a 3-hit weapon in order to kill ants right now. Easy peasy for me to do that. See, look at him. Ready? 1, 2, 3. Done. And I still get health for it. And if you would go through and mix them together with the build that I had made, my invincibility build that I had made in the game with the ladybug armor and using corporate kickback and all of that, is it still a viable set to use? Absolutely. Along with my poison set, guys, still 100% viable to use. More importantly, it's made it so you can use the poison build against spiders. Yes, you got less damage now, but the game is not meant to be super easy. Should they have left it the way that it was? In my opinion, yes and no. They're the makers of the game. It's up to them to make the decision. But all in all, I still think that it's a completely viable set to use if you're looking to go through and do some serious damage. Now, the Pinch Whacker. The Pinch Whacker. The Pinch Whacker. Yeah. The Pinch Whacker got a super nerf too. The Pinch Whacker was no longer a axe. It's no, I don't even know where it is anymore. It's probably off in some random chest showing how often I use it now. But the Pinch Whacker did receive a nerf. It's not a chopping weapon anymore, and it got some damage reduction. But it's still a viable weapon. You can still use it. I literally used it on my WoW mode playthrough that I did. I have a WoW mode playthrough that I'm doing right now on the channel, going through and literally trying to beat the game on WoW. I used it at level 5 or 6 to take down the Broodmother with level 2 Ladybug gear on. It is a good damaging weapon, and the stun is fantastic. So even though we can't cut down grass blades with it, and that sucks, and it's not a tier 3 axe anymore, that also sucks, it still is a viable weapon that does boosting to damage. Now, yes, did they go through and also give more resistances to certain bugs and make them more damage resistant and all of that in the yard? Yes, they did. But The game isn't meant to be super easy, right? The early game is meant to be easy as you get better and better gear, right? But the late game is still late game. It's not supposed to get super easy without getting those late game gear and then getting them leveled all the way up, which you can technically level every single thing that you ever pick up in the game all the way up to level 9 if you so want to, if you go through and do the grinding process of going around every day and finding all the different bugs that you can destroy in order to make those upgrade materials. That is the way the game is meant to be played. That's why it is built the way that it is, with the upgrade system the way that it is, the different tiers of weapons, because as you get stronger, you slowly work your way up to the point where you get a gear set that is a lot like the one that I have right here, that is level 9 Black Widow gear, level 9 Broodmother helmet, a red ant fire ant shield, and a level 8 spider fang dagger, almost level 9, because it's meant for you to get to that level in the game by the end of the game, and to play that way to enjoy the rest of the game, to be able to get to 100% and things like that. That is the whole purpose of the way the game is set up. Now, let's talk a couple of things that were buffed. First thing that was buffed is the moth armor. All right, hold on a second, Past Sim. Before we go and start talking range stuff like I know you're so excited to talk about, we need to finish up a little bit of griping here that you guys are definitely going to have if I didn't cover this. I only killed tier 1 enemies with my poison build, and you guys are probably like, whoa, Sim, you just killed an orb weaver, or you just killed a ladybug with it. How do you know your poison armor is still that good and your poison build is good? Whoa, 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 fight something that's tier 3. It changes it up a whole lot. Yeah, no, not really. Fire ant. Really? Not really that worried about it. Scythe, still usable. Not what I wanted to cover though, but still, poison, kicks butt. Let's run on down here. We'll find ourselves a ladybird beetle. I'm sure there's one around here that's probably right here. Maybe I'll even run into a black ox beetle and show you guys against that. It is still a completely viable weapon in order to go through, get stuck underneath mushrooms, and then fight tier 3 enemies that are not just fire ants, which will love to aggro me. Where are you, little angry buggers? There we go. Here. A black ox beetle. I'll fight this black ox beetle for you guys. This black ox beetle that we would say, oh, it's been nerfed. Oh, it's so bad. Oh, it's been nerfed. It has not been nerfed. Look at me rip this thing's health apart. Once again, no problems fighting it at all. It's the fact I'm fighting more than one thing. No heals at all. Completely taking down a black ox beetle with my poison build. Yeah, it got distracted by something else, but nonetheless, tier 3, one of the hardest enemies in the game with the most health. No problem at all. Now this fire ant worker really wants to die, but while we're killing him, let's go back to previous sim. The moth armor. The moth armor did get a buff. The moth armor got quite the buff, actually. It's really, really good armor now. It allows you to do even more bleed damage and got damage over time adjusted as well, which is good, making ranged weapons even more powerful now. This, to me, was needed. Rangers felt as though that they were pretty debuffed, to be honest, in the game. But now with the bleed effects being adjusted to being damage over time with more damage for less time, but think about it. Even if it's 10 damage or 20 damage for 5 seconds, right, after you shoot it, if you are continuously shooting arrows at something, you're going to continuously add that bleed proc, that constant ability to add bleed to an enemy, making it so you can do some serious damage. And the fact that you can one-shot most low-level creatures in the game makes it so the nerf was not that bad, actually. And they buffed the bee armor as well, giving it double the amount of stun, making it so you can stun things and then run away. It is definitely something that is awesome that they added to the game that I would believe that everybody should be enjoying. So yes, did the Rangers get super buffed? Yes, they did. What else got super buffed? You guys guessed it. The Praying Mantis weapon. This was needed because the Praying Mantis weapon is meant to be faster, wherever the heck it may be right now, hiding out in its lonesome corner where it likes to stay. The Praying Mantis weapon, the Praying Mantis scythe as it is, I don't have it on me, surprisingly. Oh, it's right here, in front of my face. The Praying Mantis weapon, what happened is it got a 25% stamina reduction, making it so you can swing it more times. As you can see over there by the stamina, I can actually swing this thing a lot. And if you had Apex Predator on, it makes it so you can swing it even faster. This is meant because the Praying Mantis is meant to be one of the most difficult enemies in the game, and the fact that if you want to get all of this upgraded and things like that, it's going to take quite the battle in order for you to be able to take it down, let alone get a full Praying Mantis set. So I think the Praying Mantis armor still needs another buff, But let's focus on the weapon, shall we? Because that's kind of what this build is all about at this point. What this video is all about is the weaponry, right? The weaponry is still a powerful weapon. Here, if I was to go through, let me just show you guys, right? Let me just go ahead and throw Apex Predator on. Let me go find something to go mess up here really quick with this thing. And I'm using a ranged armor set still with this, and I'm still going to use it because that's the way that I like to party. Spider, it's your bad day. So as you can see, as you go through and you start swinging, your swing speed slowly speeds up. And now, with that stamina regen, with the stamina usage, you can actually get up to the full speed you're supposed to be using this weapon at, allowing it to swing wicked quick. Then if you throw on buff lungs, you use something that decrease the amount of stamina per swing, you increase some stamina, some damage by throwing on maybe a eye patch plus to give yourself even more damage while you're swinging this thing. It makes the scythe a lot more of a viable weapon. And also, cool thing guys, it also can chop down grass. So there you go. That they moved it from the pinch whacker over to the scythe for you guys to be able to use. But guys, this is really how I'm feeling about the current nerf that's happened. Was it really needed? No, not really. I think they could have gotten away without doing it. I don't think it was really needed. But all in all, I don't think it's that bad, to be honest. I think that it's still a viable game. It's still a good game. It did not wreck Grounded. It didn't make it so all of my builds are trash. It didn't make it so everything that you guys have been doing in your spare time playing Grounded was not worth the effort. All in all, I think that the nerfs suck. Yes, they do. But all in all, they did not break the game, so I'm okay with them. That's my point. It's not something that they're going to go back and revert to. They're not going to go back and change it. It's the way that it is now, and we're going to have to deal with it. But they're not that bad, guys. All the builds that I have made are still completely viable, and you guys can go out and do them, except for, obviously, the pinch whacker being used as a tier 3 axe. That is no longer a thing. But that's pretty much it, guys. So that's going to do it for this video. Thank you all so much for watching this one. If you guys could, make sure you guys hit that like button. Don't forget to subscribe, leave me a comment down below. And as always, I'll see all of you guys in the next one.